Today is day 14 of an incredible series that I am calling Answer the Call 30 Days to Launch Your Doula Career. And in this series, we have been over so many incredible things that I want you to go back and listen to days 1 through 13. We've talked about getting clarity and confidence. We've talked about emotional resilience. We've talked about ways to prevent burnout. We've talked about building your business, how to pick a doula training. We've talked about so many incredible things over the last 13 days. So, today for day 14, I wanted to talk about common mistakes that doulas make in the first year of their doula career and how you can avoid them. I was talking to a new doula in my DMs actually this week on Facebook, and they were bringing up some really interesting insights that I realized that I haven't shared yet on this podcast series that I think will be really beneficial for you as you're moving forward in your career and planning your career. One thing that I want to say that I think really helps is engaging with a mentor or a coach early on, right? So that would be my very first tip. I think that way too many doulas, airing doulas, new doulas go it alone, try to put together free information from YouTube and on the internet and just get started without engaging with a mentor or some sort of coach. I do understand that a lot of us just love gathering information. We want to be well researched. We want to make sure that we're stepping into this knowing as much as we possibly can. But how many of us know that when you're stepping into something new, you just don't know what you don't know, right? And so a coach or a mentor can be the cheat code to really figuring out some things, avoiding some pitfalls, and some going around some roadblocks, right? That you don't even know to look for or that you couldn't have anticipated. And this can allow you to get to your results a lot faster. So, I really think that everyone should consider engaging with a mentor or a coach very early on in their career, really even before you start, if you can. And that's the reason why I created a group coaching program that's actually launching in January. So that way, new doulas can find that community, they can find that support, and they can avoid those pitfalls and roadblocks that could potentially keep them back from making the impact that they want to make. Okay, so my second tip for common mistakes and how you can avoid them, I really feel like backup doulas are not engaged properly, and I don't see a lot of doulas, honestly, new and seasoned doulas, engaging with backup doulas properly. So, for those who don't know, typically when you're a new doula, you start out with what I call like a solo doula practice, where you are one doula, you are doing all of the things to connect with the people that you want to support. And then in the background, it's like, hey, if something were to happen to me, there's some doulas that I met at a meetup or some doulas that I connected with online, or I'm in a local Facebook group of doulas. And if I ever needed somebody, like, I'll send out a random text to somebody who I haven't talked to in weeks, or maybe I have talked to them, but have never brought up my client load or my client roster or my client's due dates. And I'll just send random messages to see who's available to fill in at an induction for me in a few days, or who's available to go to a birth for me right now, right at 10 o'clock on a Sunday night. And I really think that the proper way to engage with backup doulas is to have a one-on-one coffee conversation with them to make sure that they align with the way that you want to support your clients, right? What is their philosophy on hospital births? I've seen a few doulas in my DMs and online who absolutely don't want to attend hospital births, who feel like hospital births are traumatic. So if you are supporting clients who have hospital births and then you have a backup doula who doesn't do hospital births, then that's a misalignment, right? So just making sure that you guys have the same philosophies about how you want to support your clients, open to supporting them in the same environments. I also think that there's a backup doula agreement that should be signed between you and your backup doula. Your backup doula should know about your roster of clients, right? They should know when the client's due dates are. They should be introduced to the client, and they should also be in a text message or email communication with you and your client, so your client has easy access to their information if they ever did need to reach out to your backup doula. So that's the way that I think is the proper way to engage a backup doula if you do choose to be a solo doula. Okay, so the third thing that I want to mention to everybody that I think is something that I see a lot of new doulas do is they do too much on the website. Like, we are not graphic designers, and it's very, very clear by looking at a lot of new doulas websites that we are not graphic designers. Okay, it's too many colors, it's too many fonts. I just feel like it's just a time where people just do the most. I think that a black and white website is totally fine with very clear Times New Roman or Arial font so people can actually read it. Don't write a novel. Okay, because nobody is going to read a novel. I think that it's important to focus on what the person who is going to be supported by you gets out of it, more so than running your resume for 5 pages of the website, right? So I really think that websites could be used better. And I think that websites could be so much crisper and simpler. And so yeah, I just think that we just do too much when it comes to the website. If you can, I would keep it very, very simple, support some clients, figure out the questions that they're asking you in consultations, figure out the things that they're saying they enjoyed the most from you, grab a couple of like video testimonials, even get on video yourself if you're comfortable with that, or audio. But I definitely feel like websites could be utilized a lot better for people to really get a sense of who you are, but also what they stand to get by working with you. So, the fourth tip that I want to give is in the same line of websites and clients, which is testimonials. I don't think that enough of us are asking for testimonials while we're working with clients. And I do understand that it's like, okay, clients are busy, they're working, they have new littles that they're welcoming into their family. Like, when is a good time to ask for a testimonial? And I think that that can be done throughout multiple times in the process, right? When you're working with clients, I think that that can be done right after your prenatal, if you're a birth doula while the client's excited and waiting on their baby to come. That could be done, in the postpartum period, maybe once they're like 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 12 weeks out from having the baby. And then that could be done again at the year mark where the baby's birthday comes up and we're all, gushy and thinking about the birth and all of those things. That could be another, great point to ask for a testimonial. And then if you don't get it at those points, then just keep asking at the baby's birthday for the testimonial, right? So that could be something that could be scheduled in Gmail. Actually, Gmail has an awesome feature where there's a little send button and then there's an arrow actually next to the send button. It's like to the right of it. And if you click that arrow, then you can schedule the email. So you don't have to worry about remembering. You can schedule that email to hit at those milestones, and easy peasy, it's already like scheduled, already done, and Gmail will handle the rest. Okay. So the next tip that I want to give, and something that I want doulas to think about in the first year, is not to take rejection personally. I know I took rejection personally so hard that I actually quit, right? Quit being a doula and let that compound with like negative stories I was telling myself about my capacity to be a doula. And I think that it's really important to realize that we are going to get no's, and that's okay. Like, every single client that we consult with may not want to work with us, and it has nothing to do with us. Right. So I think that that's really, really important to remember. No just means next opportunity, and we need to treat it like that and keep it pushing to the clients that we do want to work with. And to be honest, we'll come across some potential clients that we don't want to work with either, right? If we do this long enough. So it's okay if it's not a mutual yes. It doesn't mean anything about you, your character, your capacity, your skills, your knowledge. It doesn't mean anything that other than the client was looking for something different. Potential client was looking for something different. Okay, next thing that I want to say, speaking of potential clients, is that sometimes I saw myself passing up red flags in order to work with someone who I should have just referred out, right? And I think that I was in like a scarcity mindset of like, oh my gosh, if I say no to this client, when is the next client gonna come? I won't have any more clients for months and months and months. And that's absolutely not true, right? It's okay to see things in a consultation that signal that we may not be a good fit, and to refer out to another doula or refer out to whatever the appropriate referral source would be. And by doing that, you just leave yourself open to welcome in more new clients. So It's okay to have a no given to you, and it's okay to give a no to a potential client. And for that to mean nothing other than it wasn't the right fit, and to find the better fit, right? And to leave room for that better fit. All right. And last thing that I want to mention is that a big mistake that I feel like I made and that I see other people making too is taking too long to get started on becoming a doula. I feel like there are always so many reasons why now is not a good time, why you could put this off until later, and how you think that you have all of this time to keep putting things off. But honestly, we all know when we are called to do something, when we're pulled to do something, when it doesn't go away, when it excites us, when we're curious about it, when it fits us perfectly, when other people says that it fits us perfectly. And it's okay to get started sooner than you feel like you're ready to, right? Because I don't think that I ever, even now, feel like I'm ready. I still don't have all the answers. I'm still learning a lot, still figuring a lot out. And that's going to be a continuation of the journey, right? So that's all a part of it. So it's okay to get started before you're ready. In fact, I highly encourage everybody to get started before they're ready because sometimes the clarity comes through the action, right? Okay, so that's a tip. Those are all the tips that I wanted to give. I really appreciate you guys coming and listening to this series. I hope that this series has been so beneficial to you. We are ending week 2 of the series, day 14, and I am excited for week 3. I can't even believe that it's week 3. This thing has gone by so, so fast. I did mention before, and I'll mention it again. I do have a group coaching program that is opening up in January. If you do want to continue with refining everything that you did over these 30 days with actual feedback from me, and then to get into the motivation and inspiration, community, and coaching and advice that you need to continue on to grow your doula career. Would love to be able to support you. You can go ahead and join the wait list for the coaching program that is opening up in January, and we'll be able to send you more information about that. And I will